Alicorn Twilight. Man. Okay, I'll start this off by admitting that I was one of those people. People who opposed this idea in the first place. People who were scared and frankly horrified by this possibility. I just didn't like the concept from the beginning, and now I just don't know what this change will bring at such an early point in the show. This concept would have worked so much better as a series final, and all that emotion that was being built up with things like Celestia's ballad and Twilight's speech have been so much more bittersweet if we knew that this was the last time we were going to see these characters. That being said, I am definitely not against season 4, quite the opposite. One of my gripes with this concept is the way it was presented. There were some great moments in this episode, but I feel like there were many points that held it back. Like all the heartwarming moments, but there were so many songs, and all the emotions presented, but it was way too rushed. And that speech, but it was still Alicorn Twilight. Another thing that bugs me was the way this concept was integrated in the show. As far as we knew, Twilight was simply Celestia's personal student, and that she was chosen to be so since she was young. That's it. I know we got some foreshadowing for Twilighcorn during the Crystal Empire, but it was pretty late in the game at that point. The biggest problem, though, I don't know what this will mean. What will Twilight have to do now that she's a princess? Will her lifespan be extended? Will her role change in the show? The best way I can elaborate this concept is by explaining the two viewpoints that people view fiction. One of these viewpoints is by watching, reading, listening, or whatever to something for the first time without any knowledge of plot points to come. You're getting used to these characters, these stories, in this world, and you end up having to decide whether you like what the story presents or not. The other viewpoint is reimbursing yourself into something you, as an audience member, are already familiar with. You already know why you like it, and you can appreciate the story because you are aware of future events, and you can understand things that happened in the show's past from a new perspective. A good example of the latter viewpoint is looking back at The Great Gatsby. It's a popular book and required reading for many people in high school, so I assume spoilers won't be a problem. By the way, spoilers. When reading this book for the first time, some don't really get the big tragedy of the story. Yes, Gatsby loves Daisy, and it has an idealistic, extravagant pursuit over her that ends up costing him his life. Yeah, that's pretty tragic. But the big tragedy that I'm referring to is that everything Gatsby ended up doing to get Daisy wasn't even remotely worth it, because she ends up crawling back to her cheating husband Tom and doesn't even attend Gatsby's funeral. Hate Daisy so much. Great fiction has the power to be investing in both stages of these viewpoints, and that's the thing with Twilight here. I can't really wrap my head around this concept, despite my personal dislike for it, because I cannot appreciate it, and because I don't know what this will mean for the show. If we sort of knew what to expect for the future with this, then we could get super excited about Season 4. I already am, but for a completely unrelated reason. Discord song. For now, it's shrouded in mystery, and the fandom can simply guess what the future will bring. And I can't get into that boat, not just yet. If you like this video, please comment, share, favorite, subscribe, blah 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 blah. Because I'm trying to build an audience here on YouTube. Wish me luck! Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.